You're listening to Between the Fountains, a Kansas City Royals baseball podcast.
There's the finger. All right. Welcome to episode number 14 of Between the Fountains, a Kansas City Royals podcast. It is July 13th. I'm Bryan, and that's Michael. We've been friends for over 40 years and Royals fans since the time we could walk. We break down the Royals from all angles. And we give you our honest opinions of the highs and lows each week of the 2026 season. Currently, our Royals are in last place. They are 38-59, Michael, at the All-Star break. That's bad. They are 13 games out. Our friends, the Tigers, have been playing some good baseball lately. They are now only 6.5 games out. They are above us. Then you got the Twins, and still the White Sox and the Guardians are tied for first. So let's see here. The Tigers, they're 7-3 in their last 10. However, they have lost their last 2 games, but the Tigers are 24 to the positive on run differential. To give you an idea, the White Sox are 35. What do you think we are in run differential?
Negative
Each
19.
Scoring 14 runs or whatever it was the other day. We are negative, yes.
I don't know, negative 27. I don't know.
Higher. Negative 88. Run differential.
No, that can't be true.
That's what I'm looking at on ESPN right now.
We had a lot of 1-run and 2-run losses in the first 40 games.
Yeah, and we scored a whole bunch of runs, and I was going to bring that game up here in a minute. So to give you some idea, we are negative 88. The Yankees are plus 91. The Dodgers are plus 149. The Brewers, you like them, they're plus 126. Anyway, this isn't a podcast about run differential, but that's a telling stat. It sure is. There's no way around it. Basically, any team that's any good is not going to be in the negative on run differential. That's bottom line. So anyway, if you're new to the show, our goal here is to provide a unique forum for Royals fans to hear what we think, but we also want to know what you think. You can leave us a comment in the YouTube section here, the YouTube channel, and please subscribe to the channel. If you can, we would appreciate that. And Michael, do we have a sponsor?
No, this is our first time we got a sponsor. We are doing so bad that nobody wants to sponsor right now.
What does our ad department do? I've heard they're drinking a lot lately.
They're in the red. I don't know. They're in the red.
Yeah. They need to pound the pavement or whatever they do. Isn't that what they do? Salespeople? Something like that.
Pretty much. They knock on doors and dial for dollars.
Right. Because I'm not going to go out and do that. I wouldn't be good at that at all. You need to spend your money somewhere else. This show's awful. Okay. Well, that's enough about that. All right. Topics tonight. The number one topic I'm sure we all want to know more about from our Royals expert is this 2026 draft that just happened the other day, if you were watching. And number 2, I do want to go back to that game with Christopher Sanchez on the mound for the Phillies, who is incidentally the starter in tomorrow's All-Star game for the National League.
Oops.
All choked up.
Man, raise her off.
I don't understand that game. We'll get back to that in a second here. Once I catch my breath, I'm just too excited, I guess. And then the third topic is Jack in the home run derby, which is actually going to start here in about 35, 40 minutes, something like that. So why don't we just do this in reverse? Let's do the home run derby first. The home run derby is on Netflix this year. Michael does not have access to Netflix in a legal manner, we'll just say.
Right.
So what is your plan? You're going to listen to it on the radio? You can listen to it on the radio.
I might go over to my mom's and watch it.
Yeah, she's got Netflix?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. I don't know. Netflix has done a few things here and there. Some things with success, some things without success from the past that I can recall. They did something with the NFL a couple times, and I don't know. We'll see. They usually do some kind of big extravaganza thing, like they bring people out of the woodwork that you haven't seen in a long time, and I don't know. We'll see what they do. But Jack Caglione is involved in the home run derby. He has 14 home runs this year, which I did happen to notice is the lowest of all the participants this year.
He'll hit 25 or 26. I think that was my prediction for the year. was 26. He should be right on target for about that.
26 in the home run derby or 26 for
for
the
the
year?
year.
For the year. Yeah, that's accurate, I think. Yeah. I mean, you got to think that, like, down the stretch, he's going to be seeing less pitching probably. You know, you bring up the minor leaguers and that kind of thing. So, you know, he's going to get a few there. He does look like he's lifting the ball better than he's ever done. You know, do you see that in him?
Yeah.
I mean,
He is.
what do
doing
you
that.
attribute that
he's
to?
He's more relaxed up at the plate.
Yeah, but he's definitely lifting the ball. You can tell.
Yeah, he's more relaxed. He's not as tight as he was last year. Just because he's got some ABs in. So
Yeah, right. I don't know.
he's more
He looks
relaxed.
a lot better.
Yeah.
So I hope he doesn't embarrass himself. I don't think he will because Citizens Bank Park. I think there was a time I could have maybe hit one out of Citizens Bank Park, but
Probably. Yeah.
it's not a real hard park to hit a home run in, from what I've seen anyway. Are you familiar with Citizens Bank Park? Yes. Are you going to go there sometime?
Yeah, that looks like a super nice park. We should go there.
Right. I think it looks nice. It's a downtown park, right?
Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, hit both of them. Yeah.
Like we're gonna get. So I was actually, this is off topic. Didn't share this one with you. I was in a Quick Trip today, and which I often am, and they were remodeling, and they had their little Quick Trip sheets up, so you couldn't see what was going on behind. Whatever they're putting in those new drink fountain things that you got to push all these buttons. I don't like it. I've seen. I don't like it. But anyway, there was some workers back there, and they must have been on a break. And the two I heard talking were Royals fans, and one of them said, "Thank God we hit the All-Star break." Like it was, you know. And then the other one, he said something like, "Well, maybe they need a new stadium. That's what's the problem. They need a new stadium."
Yeah, bring in the fences even more.
200 feet. Yeah.
Yeah, at least that.
Yeah. Do you remember the park that we played at Excelsior Springs back in the day? Like in that prison-looking place. Did you ever remember going there?
I remember that now.
So do you remember the right field fence started about 20 feet behind the first baseman? Do you remember that?
I remember that. Yes.
Yeah.
It was a very small field.
Yes. It was especially, well, on the right side of the field it was. In the left field, it was like 500 feet.
Exactly. Yeah.
It was a cool looking spot.
Small field for left-handed batters.
I don't know if they still play there anymore, but that would be a good concept.
Been imploded.
Has it? Oh, that's too bad, because that would have helped us, I think, because we got a lot of left-handed power hitters, right?
That would have helped us. Carter and Vinny and Jack and Massey.
Yeah, it would have helped us a lot. 200 feet, right field.
All of them would have helped.
Yeah, right. Well, it probably would have helped the other team too. But anyway, all right. So let's see here. The Christopher Sanchez game. Were you watching that game?
I saw bits and pieces of it, yes.
All right. He is no doubt probably the best pitcher in the National League this year. And he imploded against the Royals.
Yes, he did.
Explain that to me. How that could possibly happen.
Yeah. Well, even the best of the best pitchers are going to have, we've kind of talked about this before, that 3 to 5 games in the season where they're just not good at all. Right. And that was one of them for him. And then, the Royals are going to have that, I don't know, 4 to 6 games like most teams. Some teams it's more, where the ball, looks like a watermelon, where it's just big.
Does the ball ever look like a watermelon to you at the plate?
No, I was more of a pitcher.
Did your balls look like watermelons coming to the batter ever?
That was often, very much so. So that was one of those games, every team has 2 games a year where they score, 16 to 21 runs. So it was a win. It doesn't matter, right? 4-3 or 22-2. It's a W. So we just didn't see very many of those in the first half here.
I don't know. It's a crazy game. That's all I got to say.
It was. It's a crazy game. As Louis Tiant said about baseball, you know nothing.
Like El Tiante or whatever. What do they call him? Something like that.
Was it El Tiante or El
something?
Close.
Right. He had that wind up where he turned all the way around and looked to center field.
Center field, yeah. He was one of a kind for sure.
Kind of like Johnny Cueto. Yes.
Very similar. Very similar, but Louis did it even more than Johnny did.
Much more pronounced.
Yeah. And Louis was big boned.
Yeah. Well, Johnny Cueto is pretty big boned too, would you say?
Not as big as El Tiante.
That's true. Yeah. Anyway. All right. And then the topic that everyone's waiting for, everyone I'm sure was at the edge of their seat. You can probably remember where you were, I don't know, when we drafted Bubba Starling or who else have we drafted in the first slot? And we've
Mazzucato,
Frank.
right? Mazzucato. Yeah, I was in the kitchen at my son-in-law's house in Springfield. I dropped my phone when I saw it on the floor.
When they drafted Frank Mazzucato, you dropped your
No,
phone?
when they drafted Zion here in last.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're
I
back in the
dropped my
present.
phone. Yeah.
All right. So I took the liberty of getting a couple of comments from some people on the Royals draft. And I think most of us have heard of Keith Law before.
Yeah, it's everybody has. Yeah.
Right. My mom probably hasn't, but Keith Law is a very in the know on baseball prospects in general. He does a ranking every year.
Yes.
There's like two people that, follow the baseball draft, and he's one of them. Anyway, he said that it was clear to him that the Royals, the picking Rose number one, was clearly a financial maneuver.
For sure. Yeah.
Theory
That's
that
obvious.
but I don't quite understand how that all works. That's part of why the draft is not that big a deal to me, really.
It's confusing. Yeah,
It
it's
is.
very
I mean,
confusing.
so to secure him at an underslot bonus, that's why they picked him anyway. But are you familiar with the website Fansided? It's a very good website,
Yes.
baseball.
I am familiar with Fansided.
So here's what they said. Many national draft observers were caught off guard by the pick. Fansided explicitly labeled the selection as genuinely shocking because Rose appeared around the 30 slot. Most people ranked him around 30 on many of the big boards, such as MLB Pipeline, which is probably the number one prospect ranking system in baseball. Anyway, then I heard an interview, or actually, no, I didn't hear it. I saw JJ Piccolo, his quote said, "We're going to take the best player available. That's been our strategy from day one. Best player available. There is no way Rose was the best player available when they had the number 6 pick. No way."
Right.
Now you go on with.
Well, it depends on who you ask. I mean, maybe according to Royals brass, maybe he was. I think he was injured. He had some good stats, and they like his makeup. They like his attitude, and they think
He's a family
an
man.
overcomer.
He's a family man.
Well, his mom raised 3 boys, and they said she didn't sugarcoat things for them.
Your internet cut out there for a second. Say that one more time.
Right. So he was raised by his mom. His mom raised 3 boys. She didn't sugarcoat things. So he's a grinder, apparently. And so we'll just go with that.
Yeah, I saw that quote too. Now, with his last name being Rose, here's the one other thought I had that's probably way off. There's another person by the name of Rose from the Chicago area that didn't play baseball. Do you remember that player?
Are you talking
Derek
about
Rose.
Jalen Rose?
There, Jalen Rose too. That's true.
No.
But I was thinking of Derek Rose. I didn't know you don't like the NBA, so it doesn't matter. But I thought I mean, I know there's probably 8 billion people that live in Chicago, so a lot of them probably have the last name Rose. I just wondered if there was any connection there. Do you know? Probably not.
It could be like a third cousin or something.
Third cousin?
Yeah.
Does that help us then?
Yeah. So time will tell. As we know, it's a crap shot, the draft is. You don't know what you don't know with a lot of these kids, because that's what a lot of them are. Are they going to adapt? Are they going to make the necessary adjustments with the wooden bats, with the travel?
With the alarm clock?
Right. So we don't, it may have been a very good draft pick. On the football side, a lot of people thought the Chiefs were crazy for trading up to get a man named Patrick Mahomes.
I remember that.
Me included.
Yeah.
So, we don't know. We don't know. Time will tell. We've had a history of making dumb draft picks, so we'll see what happens.
But if I don't know JJ Piccolo. I mean, we don't really have enough to go on, to be honest with you. I mean, but don't tell me that you picked the best player available. There's no way he was the best player available. No way. And if it's a financial move, because what I read is that, then that would give them more money for the second pick, the pitcher that you liked. That was what kind of pick was he?
Sandwich pick.
A sandwich pick. Yes, you said you were all over the sandwich pick. So I had heard somewhere I read that they liked him real well. They were considering making him their first pick. And that so by taking Mr. Rose, the third cousin of Derrick Rose,
Yes.
that allowed them to have more money, apparently, and which I don't understand how the draft works. That's part of the why I don't really watch it, because I don't understand the slot and all that stuff. Can you explain that to me?
I'm not going to explain that to you. There's too much minutia there, but I will say that the Royals do have the secret sauce on outfielders, and part of that is Rusty Coots. He takes them under his wing like he did Caglione, who's done very well in right field. I think he's +1 WAR out there.
Yeah.
So he'll get Mr. Rose, I'm sure, up to speed defensively. So, at the bat, we don't know what we don't know. He could turn out to be a very good outfielder, and then everybody said, gosh, the Royals did a good thing. They saved the money for the pitcher. So time will tell. We can't judge this thing, at first blush here and say, gosh, it was a horrible pick.
Right. It's kind of like the Chiefs pick this year, the defensive back. Everyone
Yeah.
said they didn't dislike the player.
Right.
They didn't understand the pick. I mean, that's kind of
Yeah.
where I'm at with
Well,
this
the
one.
Chiefs are notorious for taking people that they're like, gosh, we didn't know if he'd be around and it's later in that round. And so they trade up or whatever. So they're notorious for that. And they've had good success with that. The Royals have had some success with pitchers. Bubich, I mean, he's been injured, but he's a good pitcher. And we could look, obviously, Brady Stinger was traded, but he's been a serviceable, fifth starter. Having a little bit of a rough year this year, but had a good year last year. And then, we look at Daniel Lynch, the fourth, and he's done well. And so they've had some success with
I'm
drafting
required to say
pitchers.
this every time you say that.
Okay. The
And you
guy,
like
the
and you like
pitcher,
saying it too, Daniel Lynch the
the
fourth.
pitcher with no remorse for his fellow brothers. So
That's true. I
yes.
almost forgot about that. With us, it's definitely been a year of some things maybe not
It's
to remember.
Yeah, it's been a year of Ken Harvey plays. Those seem to be once a year deal. I don't remember Ken Harvey got hit in the back or
Something like
or did
that.
he throw the ball at Mike Sweeney and Sweeney got hit in
Something
the
like
back?
that.
I
Yeah.
can't remember. It was weird play. So
Yeah.
there's been a year of weird plays. But the Royals, I mean, you said that run differential, which that's really hard for me to believe because again, the first 40 to 50 games, we were losing runs by 1 and 2 games. We were just right there.
Right.
So, as bad as it might look, we can pull a turnaround because one reason we can is our American League's not that good. You got the Yankees and then you have Tampa Bay. And, everybody's all, screaming about the White Sox. Well, they're 5 games over 500. It's not like they're 20. And some of those guys are having career years over there, like Vargas. The pitcher's going to figure him out at some point.
Yeah.
So we're in a league that, you can just tweak your team here and there and do a reset and you can compete for the
Like the
wild
White Sox.
card. And,
You can be
yeah.
the White
And
Sox.
as bad as it might seem right now, that we can, make some adjustments for next year. You might remember from our very first couple episodes, I said the Royals have got to get 2 really good bats in the lineup. And they didn't do that. They got Collins. I mean, he's average at best. He has turned it on here in the last 3 weeks. He's probably getting more relaxed because, lots of pressure on him coming over for Milwaukee. We expect him to produce really well. We did not get the 2 bats that we needed, and it puts pressure on the pitchers, and it's hard to pitch when you've got pressure on yourself. So nobody expected Matt Strom to forget how to pitch. Nobody
He's been
expected.
awful. He's been straight out awful.
He has been awful, and nobody expected Pasquantino to forget how to hit. Nobody thought that would happen. So if
Isaac
we're going to
Collins is
compete
at
next year,
240 right now, by the way.
yeah, but he's sitting like 310 over the last 3 weeks. He's really turned it on like.
Right.
Yeah.
Lane Thomas is hitting 234, another acquisition.
Lane Thomas, Starling Marte, they're probably going to be traded at the deadline because teams will need bats to come off the bench, and they're 2 good bats to come off the bench.
Yeah.
And they both play good outfield. So they'll be traded. I don't expect to see Thomas and Marte in a Royals uniform past the trade deadline. But I also don't expect any big trades. I think Walker will stay, and I think that Seth Lugo will stay.
Yeah.
Unless they get like a big haul, which is probably not going to happen for those guys.
They were going to get the big haul last year for Lugo, and they didn't. Yeah. Apparently, I don't know, wanted too much for him. I wanted them to trade Lugo so bad last year. I mean, he would never have
I
been
don't
more
know.
valuable than he was last year.
But next year, if we can get a couple bats, keyword if as usual, Williams will be back after the All-Star break next year, most likely. I think Lugo still, a 3.8, 4.0 ERA, which is pretty good. And then Walker will be himself probably next year because he's still throwing hard. He still hasn't lost any velocity. So we'll see if they can recover and have a decent year next year. Because, if you can be around 500, at that trade deadline, you could make a trade and boost yourself up.
That's what's so frustrating about this year. Like you said, the White Sox are 5 games over and they're in first place.
Yeah.
Now they're tied for first place, but there's
my prediction would be the Tigers will win the division.
I can see that happening. They got too much
They
talent.
catch fire. Well, Hinch is a very good manager. He knows how to get his team going, and they catch fire about now, and it just continues. I think it'll be between the Tigers and the Guardians. I don't think the White Sox will, unless they get a big pickup, which they could because they've got a decent minor league system. If they make a really good trade, then they'll be right there in the mix. But if they don't, it'll be the Guardians.
The White Sox had the number 1 pick in this draft, and
they're
in first place. They're in first place. That's what you want. That's the combination you're looking for.
No.
First place, first pick in the draft.
We'll probably have the 6th next year. We'll probably have the worst record in baseball, and we'll be unlucky and get the 6th in the lottery pick.
Well, currently,
does it really matter anyway?
Yeah, I believe we're tied for the worst record. I think with the Angels, and then
there's still 70 games left. So
the Rockies are 1 game better than us. So that's how bad we are. We're 1 game worse than the Rockies. But yeah, all right. I don't think we can handle any more bad misery talk tonight. We're gonna watch Jack. Well, I'm gonna try, and Michael's gonna go to his mom's and watch it. And I don't know. You're in Philadelphia. You got Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber both in the Derby. You see that in their own park, which is nice. That's fine.
Got to be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Right. So
good luck to Jack. I think he'll do pretty good.
I just don't want him to embarrass himself. That's all.
Oh no, he'll be fine. His old man's throwing dogs.
Yeah, that's what I'm really kind of wanting to see.
That'll relax him.
Right. So I think they should have had some of our pitchers throw to him.
Now be
like
careful.
That closer that has a 148 ERA. Put him out there.
We don't want to lose viewership of our pitchers' parents, like their moms. So
this year's pitching against Jack Caglione, the Royals bullpen.
Yes, or no?
You like that? Yeah, this put Matt Strom out there.
He could probably win the Derby off of Matt.
Carlos Estevez comes in after, when Strom gets tired.
Yeah, I don't think he's hurt. I just think he likes sitting over there on the bench all day with no pressure. But that's
all right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Between the Fountains, the Kansas City Royals podcast. When are you going to Wrigley Field?
August.
That's coming up. So hopefully we'll do a podcast or 2 between now and then. But,
we will. Yeah.
Right.
We'll have 3 or 4 before then.
All right. So we will, with that, see you on our next episode. And Michael, go ahead. What did we say at the
end? Go Royals.
There we go. Peace sign even. All right. Thank you.